This is Justin with We Are Change Orlando, and I'm here with Sam of Food Not Bombs today. How you doing, Sam?
I'm pretty well. How you doing?
Nice to meet you. And can you tell me and the viewers what exactly is Food Not Bombs and what are you guys about?
Food Not Bombs is an organization that takes surplus food that would otherwise go to waste and redistributes it into the community. What we're trying to do is both show that kind of like food is, our motto is that food is a privilege and, food is a right and not a privilege. And so we're also trying to kind of cut down on the myth of scarcity because we're taking all these things that would otherwise be surplus and like trying to take them to the streets of the hungry and the homeless and showing that just like a few people, like if this is just what a few people in a couple sedans can do, imagine all that actually, goes to waste and isn't spent on people who are, suffering.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys been doing this?
Food Not Bombs Orlando has existed since, I believe, 2006. It's a loose collective, so it's had a lot of different members over the years. I've been doing this about 2.5 years now. But Food Not Bombs as an organization has existed since the 80s. It was formed in, I want to say, New Mexico by Keith McHenry.
So this is just the Orlando chapter, and you guys are just out here once a week, right?
No, we're actually, we're kind of out here 3 days a week. On a Monday morning, we do a sharing at 10 a.m. where we do breakfast. At Tuesday, we do a produce distro, which everything that we pick up for cooking that we don't need to cook, we give away at a bar on Mills, Uncle Lou's, at 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoons. And then we do a dinner sharing at 5:30 on Wednesday nights.
Okay. And it is my understanding that this is technically illegal to feed the homeless and still is. Mm-hmm. Do you get problems from the police here? Do they give you issues when you guys try to feed the homeless?
For the most part, no. See, like what it is there's a city ordinance that says if you're going to feed more than 25 people, you need to get a permit, and you can only get a permit twice a year. This was indirect response pretty much to what Food Not Bombs and, other groups, but particularly us, were doing. And it really came out of when we used to share at Lake Eola. A lot of the people that, populate Lake Eola are kind of more, upper class. There's a lot of like nice condos over there. And to be honest, they just didn't want to see a lot of homeless people in the park all the time. So they kind of forced the city into passing an ordinance, and we just kind of ignored it and kept doing it anyway. And then they started enforcing the ordinance, and that went on for a number of years until we reached a stalemate where we get to feed in front of City Hall, and they'll stop arresting us, although the law was never changed, and this is kind of just like a handshake agreement.
Okay, so you guys are kind of in limbo, but you're kind of working with each other, so that's a good thing. It's not like, for instance, Fort Lauderdale, where they're just arresting the man every time.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What really happened is just our tenacity won them over, because they were literally arresting people for about 3 years straight, mm-hmm. and it became like a big national thing. It became almost like international news, and the city of Orlando isn't stupid. They know that doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to constantly be arresting people for feeding the homeless, and through our just, continued drive to keep doing it, we kind of just wore them down.
Right.
And there isn't, as far as like in
Civil
communication with, yeah, exactly. And there really isn't communication. We don't they said we could do it. We said okay. No one really hassles us. One time when this place was under construction, we found an alternative venue, and within 2 or 3 sharings, cops were there and we're like, all right, if you come and do this again, we're going to arrest y'all.
What do you think is the purpose of why they make it illegal? Is it simply because there's a select group that complain and doesn't like looking at homeless people? I mean, what is their purpose for making something that seems like something that every human being should be doing, helping someone in need? Why is that illegal, do you think, here in Orlando?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it's the dehumanization of the homeless population. It's the fact that most of our decisions are made by the people with the most money. If you wanted to get kind of political sciencey about it, it's about the fact that they're pissed off that we take things out of market and bring it back into society, like bring it back into the community for no value, kind of then in sense
no value for them.
Yes, exactly. Kind of contradicts the idea of a market period, and showing that the idea of actually scarcity, at least in this country, is caused more by market forces and not actually by a lack of food. We have enough food. It's just a matter of how we choose to allocate it. It's how we choose to allocate resources. And a big reason why I think no change happens is, like I said, it's just the dehumanization of the homeless. Like, the people in power don't know what it's like to have nothing. Like, it's not like a lot of these people, like, because the questions always come like, why don't they go to their families? Why don't they go to coalitions? Some of these people don't have families, and like coalitions, some of them are gonna preach you to death. Some of them aren't gonna let you bring your stuff, and like you can't bring any bags into the coalition, and then you lose everything you have. They charge you to go into homeless shelters, and they make it illegal to panhandle or sleep on the street. So they literally make it illegal to exist if you are homeless.
And you guys are taking action to disobey this unjust law because it's the right thing to do, and it's regardless whether it's legal or not. Is that about correct?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you see any type of uptick with media or anyone coming out and showing support since the issue has gained so much publicity down in Fort Lauderdale with the 90-year-old man who's been arrested multiple times?
I mean, I'm vaguely hopeful, but for the most part, I'm kind of cynical on things like that. Because also with the way the media cycle is, things become like, it doesn't really become an issue. It just becomes a little blip we talk about for like a minute, and then we forget about it later. And like I said, the amounts, like the reason why we have the problem we have is, you know, huge and nuanced, and I couldn't even begin to like really adequately dissect it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take so much time and attention and rethinking and big questions. And I mean, I guess I have to have hope because, you know, what else are you going to do? Like, you have to have hope in, like, in
Right.
something. But at one time, in terms of, like through traditional processes, I'm not holding my breath.
Do you guys have anything special planned for the future, or are you just going to be out here for the, next Mondays and Wednesdays?
I mean, we randomly have fundraising events. Actually, that's pretty much all we ever do. And, like, sometimes, like, if Occupy-ish movements come up, like, whenever that comes up, if there's big protests in Orlando, we will sometimes come up and, like, feed protesters to stand in solidarity. We have nothing specifically planned. What we kind of see as a group is we offer regularity. We're here at the same time. We do the same service. These people can count on us. And, like, these people, like, they might not have access to, like, the internet, they might not have access to any other way to like figure out things, but they know we'll be here at this time with food no matter what.
Right,
Whether regardless of the weather, they know we're going to be out here if it's storming, they know we're going to be out here if it's cold, they know we're going to be out here if it's Christmas Day. Like, this is just what we do on these days.
Right. Well, there you have it, guys. We have a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. So I hope you got something from this interview, and if you want to help out Food Not Bombs, come support them and help out the homeless of Orlando. You know where to find them here at City Hall on Wednesday at 5 or 5:30?
5:30.
5:30. This is Justin with We Are Change.